morning. And here again, we start our day by springing gazelle-like into our new day, armed with our face masks and our hand sanitizer, as we survey our world filled with COVID virus, smoke, the venomous rhetoric of our political campaigns. What a joy. Well, I need to be honest with you folks this morning. Since the first day of March, honestly and truly, I have not been tested for the COVID virus. However, my patience has been tested hundreds, if not thousands of times. But on the bright side of all that, I'm getting a great tan from the light in my refrigerator. Okay, that's it for levity. That's all you're getting this morning. I am filled almost to the point of overwhelm by sadness. I think that the passing of Justice Ginsburg is a very sad thing, but perhaps not in the way that most might think. I think Justice Ginsburg lived a very productive and giving life, many, many years. And I think she served her country and the citizens of this country as well as any human being could. And the fact of her passing, I think, is quite normal. And I do have condolence and empathy for her family and friends. But my sadness comes from the tsunami effect that her passing is going to have on the reaction within our country. We call ourselves the United States. At this very juncture in time, I think we are perhaps even more divided than at the outbreak of the Civil War. We hear the Republicans say, well, if you elect the Democrats, that's the end of our democracy. They're going to kill this country. And the Democrats say, well, look at the Republicans. That's the end of they've killed our democracy. That's the end of our country. Well, what kills our democracy and the end of our United States is that statement in itself. That fear and hatred created by supposedly the leaders of our nation. We have so many challenges, so many problems, and I have yet to see, I like to call them our corporate concubines, they prefer we call them public servants, solve a single one of those problems. And I think the reason being is that nothing seems to happen in this country anymore unless it's economically incited. There are no economic incentives in wellness, only in illness. There's no economic incentives that they can see in peace and tranquility, only in turmoil. You know, there's so much to do, so many problems to solve. And most of us have said out loud or silently, what can I do? Well, 2 years ago in January, I came up with something that I thought was very clever and provocative. I said, what can I do? Well, how I'm going to respond to that is, I'll tell you what you can do. You can pull your head out of your ass and look around, and I'm sure you'll see something that you can do. Well, my friends, I think we're at a point in time. There's no room for cleverness and provocativeness, sarcasm. We have some very serious issues. No more serious issues have ever been presented to society than what we're facing right now. I watched a Netflix documentary. I'm going to urge you strongly to watch it. If you don't have Netflix, you know someone that does. Please watch this documentary. It's called The Social Dilemma. And this is a documentary made by directors and presidents or vice presidents of past directors that have stepped down from their position, powerful positions in the technology industry. People from Google and Facebook and Twitter. And they stepped down for moral reasons. They helped create this amazing thing that we call technology. But it has gone to a place they can't abide by any longer. And I quite honestly haven't seen anything that is more clarifying and at the same time terrifying than the information that I was exposed to watching this documentary. I'm not going to tell you much about it because I really urge you to watch it. But there's a couple things that shocked me. That their best guess, they know the numbers. They helped create all of the technologies that we're using today. They say that 2 billion people are addicted to social media. 2 billion. Now, I'm not sure how many people there are on this planet. I haven't counted recently, but I'm thinking it's somewhere around 7.5 billion. So what they're telling us is that between 25 and 30% of the people on the face of this earth are addicted to social media. And what that addiction does is it prevents the brain from thinking reasonably and cognizantly. It creates people who just react by their conditioned attention to the technological unreality that they're addicted to. I was shocked. And then I thought about my grandchildren. They're like this, 4 or 5 hours a day. You can't talk to them. They tune everything out. There are more things in this documentary that I hope all of you think about, consider. A lot of these gentlemen, men and women, have gotten together and they've formed an institute called the Center for Humane Technology. I checked it out. I joined it. That's something I can do. Our present condition as different societies on this planet is so vulnerable right now. So very, very vulnerable. We have so many challenges. 25% of our people on this planet don't seem to have the ability to think rationally and reasonably. When almost the entire leadership ensemble of our elected officials is hell-bent on spreading hate and fear. When our environment is in worse shape than it has been in the history of humanity. What can we do? I think I know. Not long ago, I was watching a country music show, and there's a family called the Isaacs, and they have a group that tours. They record country music and also gospel music. And it's a mother and her 3 children. And several years ago, the mother developed very aggressive breast cancer. And she was devastated. And her youngest daughter wrote a song. And she and her 2 siblings recorded it. And I think the title and the lyrics of this song tell us not only what we can do, but what we have to do. The title of the song is, I'm going to love you through this. And some of the lyrics are when it's so dark, you can't see the future. I'll light your way. When you feel weak, I will be your strength. When you can't take another step, I will carry you. My friends, we are going to have to love us through this. Can you love yourself enough to transcend addiction to technology, to social media? Can you love your children and your grandchildren enough to not allow them to maim themselves this way? Can you love the racist and the bigot enough to reach out and say, going to get through this. We're going to work this out. I do not hate you for how you feel. Can you love our politicians enough to say, I understand why you are so motivated by economic incentives, but my friend, there's more. There's more required of all of us than that. I will love you through the hard times. I will support you as we solve our problems together. Because, my friends, not only have we allowed our democracy to almost disappear by not doing anything, we will allow humanity to disappear if all of us can't learn how to love us through this. And I believe with all of my heart that is the only course of action that we can take. Can you love us enough to get through this? Oh, I hope so. I hope so. And I know so. Or I couldn't stand here. And so it is.